I'll be honest, a pretty dark place. I've spent a lot of time hearing Christine and Janelle berate me in ways that have challenged my resolve for sort of love of myself. For years, they were singing my praises, and now they're sort of loathing me.
Thank you to the editors for delivering a good laugh. We couldn't stop cracking up when they chose these photos of Janelle and Christine, smiling while Kody dramatically declares, "The divorce has put me in a pretty dark place. I've spent a lot of time hearing Christine and Janelle berate me." And then, boom, cut to Janelle and Christine both beaming. Hilarious. It's almost like the editors are just as tired of Kody's endless, manipulative, circular rants, where he plays the victim, and decided to show us these photos that make it look like Janelle and Christine are just so happy now that they're free of him. It's like they're laughing at him, and honestly, who could blame them? Huge props to the editors for that. We all needed that laugh. Also, can we talk about how absurd it is that Kody acts hurt? Like he couldn't even muster a single tear. Dude, if you didn't love them, why are you upset they left you? It doesn't even make sense. Honestly, in some alternate universe, Janelle and Christine are a married couple, using Janelle's ex-brother-in-law as a sperm donor, and they stayed close with him and his wife, and their kid, until Kody had his affair, broke up his marriage, and wrecked his friendships with them. The contrast is honestly mind-blowing. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Kody's a real winner, isn't he? According to Christine's recent interview, he told Isabel he couldn't be there for her surgery because he couldn't leave his family. Excuse me, but was Isabel not part of his family? It's a real head-scratcher how someone could be so oblivious to the damage they're doing. Honestly, how can anything Christine says about him even come close to the stuff that comes out of his own mouth? I can't think of anything worse than that level of selfishness. And let's talk about the family man here, shall we? Leaving small children for a month? Meh, no big deal, right? Who cares about the lasting impact that could have on little kids? They'll just forget about it in a few years, right? But bailing on being there for your 17-year-old during a major painful surgery. Yeah, that's going to leave some scars, literally and emotionally. That's trauma in the making. He didn't even take a second to think about how this might affect his kids, especially Isabel, who is fully aware of the situation. He just decided it wasn't his problem. Then there's Robyn, with her grand speeches about being the mediator and wanting everyone to get along. If she really cared about the family, she would have told Kody to get his act together and be there for his daughter. Instead, she stood by and did nothing, which is exactly what I expect from her. And don't even get me started on that poor girl waking up from surgery and calling for her dad. You know, when Hunter left the hospital, he probably should have gone straight to Kody's place and punched him in the face. What a joke. And the audacity Kody had to ask Isabel, all sarcastically, "Promise me you won't become a bitter old woman because I didn't do that." Like, seriously? He knows exactly how terrible of a father he is, and he just can't handle the fact that everyone else knows it too. Brianna claiming that Kody's alienated from his kids because they didn't follow COVID protocols. How about Kody and Robyn not following them either? Having the nanny come and go during Isabel's surgery? Hypocrisy much? I don't know how Robyn's kids don't see through the nonsense. All the other kids can clearly see the problems with Kody and Robyn's reasoning, or lack thereof. And poor little Ari telling Christine to go on dates with Kody. If I were Christine, I would have been shooting daggers at Robyn and Kody. Seriously, Kody couldn't even bear the thought of being with Christine during Isabel's surgery. He was checked out long before that. So why would he suddenly want to go on dates with her? Please, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, Kody didn't go because he didn't want to. Robyn could have begged him to go, and he still wouldn't have. Whether it's because he didn't want to upset Robyn, didn't want to be away from her, or just couldn't be bothered, he didn't care enough to show up. He didn't even spend a whole day with Christine when they lived in the same town. The guy's been checked out for a while now, doing the bare minimum, and it's clear Isabel had to come to terms with the fact that her own father couldn't be bothered to be there for her at her most vulnerable. He's a trash bag, plain and simple. Here we go again. Let's break it down. I've tripped, I've fallen. She's off galloping into the sunset, and here's Kody, throwing a tantrum because Christine found actual happiness without him, and guess what? That's the real reason he's pissed. She doesn't need him to feel whole. What a blow to his fragile ego. He's just mad because she's living her best life without begging for his approval. Classic Kody move. And honestly, he couldn't care less about what his kids think of him after everything Christine said. He said the same stuff on film, and honestly, if he really gave a damn, he could pick up the phone and call them. But nope, he's too busy playing the victim in his little drama. We all know the drill. Whenever something goes wrong, it's everyone else's fault except his. It's just a pathetic cry for control. His ego's been bruised, and now he's throwing a fit. Bless his little heart, if he even has one. Let's talk about what actually happened, though. He treated her like garbage, and his kids were there for the whole show. They saw it. Everyone saw it. Heck, anyone can watch the 78 seasons and see how poorly he treated her. And when he had the audacity to say Christine shouldn't have told Mykelti about how awful he was with her? What a joke! She was protecting her daughter, and oh yeah, she's seen every single one of his "I didn't love her" rants on TV. Any kid would be furious if their dad said something that humiliating about their mom. He's absolutely the worst. How dare Christine leave Kody, the poor misunderstood king of the polygamy kingdom? How dare she go off and find happiness somewhere else? How dare she not stay miserable, begging for scraps of affection from him? She's ruined everything. Forget about her own happiness. What about the perfect little picture Kody and Robyn had painted for themselves, where the original three were supposed to bow down at their feet and grovel? How could they think they deserved anything more than that? And don't even get me started on his unattractive comments. In his words, oh wait, he's denying it now. He found her unattractive. Like, really, Kody? You thought everyone else agreed with you? When she walked away from him, she probably gained years of happiness and lost the emotional weight of a 225-pound man-child who was determined to keep her miserable. That's what really got under his skin. She left and she didn't fall apart. She thrived, and he'll never get it. He's too busy with Robyn whispering all sorts of nonsense in his ear, and like the sucker he is, he believes it all. Hook, line, and sinker. Kody. It's almost comical, really. At first, I couldn't quite understand why he was so mad about Christine leaving. Like most people would just be relieved when they finally get out of a toxic situation, right? But someone pointed out something on YouTube that made a lot of sense. Maybe Kody's so mad because he thought he was the glue holding the family together. He really believed everyone revolved around him. And then, bam, he found out that maybe, just maybe, it was Christine who was the real glue, and that was a huge blow to his ego. I mean, honestly, it's clear his ego's been deflated. He's all about the money and the things that left with Christine, but deep down, I think he's focused on just one thing, his shattered self-image. He thought he could just lounge around in his giant furniture, bought with the otherwise money, and that his kids would come running, eager to bow down to the almighty King Kody. But nope, the kids weren't exactly flocking to kiss his ring. They were, in fact, noticing how he'd been neglecting and mistreating the family all along. And then there's Kody's classic move. No, we're not gonna talk about the things I said or did. Because, yeah, accountability stings when you've been awful. He's not about to face the reality that his kids now see him as the bad guy. Instead, he doubles down on being even worse to avoid having to reflect on himself. I'd bet that self-reflection is scarier for him than Christine leaving ever was. Let's be real here, Christine was always the glue. It's not even up for debate anymore. And honestly, it's kind of funny to think that Kody believed Christine's life would fall apart without him. He probably thought she'd be a sad, pathetic, lovelorn mess who could never move on, much less find someone better than him. Yeah, he thought she'd be crawling back to him, tail between her legs, realizing the best thing in her life was him. But instead, well, the opposite happened. She's thriving with David, someone who is everything Kody isn't. Kind, responsible, loving, funny, financially stable. Basically, he's the total package, while Kody's still stuck in his oversized furniture with his bruised ego. And let's talk about Kody's jealousy. It's oozing out of him. He's finally realizing that he wasn't as essential as he thought. It's gotta sting to realize you're not the sun everyone orbits around. And now, Christine is living her best life while he's scrambling, realizing he's more or less irrelevant in their world. He honestly thought everyone would grovel at his feet, but instead, they gave him a "nah, I'm good." That had to sting. So yeah, Kody did say he was relieved, but that was probably before Robyn got in his ear and convinced him to try and fix things with Christine. After talking it over with her, things ended amicably, but once he went back to Robyn, his anger started bubbling up again. And I don't think it's just Christine he's mad at. Robyn's fueling his rage too. She's got her own grudge against Christine, and I'm pretty sure she's the one who lit the fuse on Kody's angry rants. Where to even begin with this masterpiece of hypocrisy and manipulation? I'm rewatching this train wreck, and I am more convinced than ever that Kody is a walking, talking dumpster fire of lies and self-serving garbage. The way he's been dismissive, oblivious, and downright cruel to Meri over the last few seasons is staggering. Now this guy has the audacity to say he's never had deep love for her. Really? I mean, let's rewind a bit, shall we? Back in the early episodes, he was all love, affection, and genuine care toward Meri. So unless Kody is Oscar-worthy at faking warmth and emotion, I'm calling major BS on this "I never loved her" claim. Let's get one thing straight. Kody is a fraud, but I don't believe for a second that he was pretending to care about Meri back then. This entire mess just further convinces me that he's been emotionally cruel to her to make Robyn feel like the queen of his little kingdom. And Robyn, she's just as complicit, encouraging Meri to stick around, all while whispering sweet lies about how Kody still loves her. The cruelty they've both dished out is next-level twisted, all for the sake of the almighty paycheck and the renewal of this mess of a show. And let's talk about Robyn for a moment, because her role in this is peak narcissism. She lied to Meri about the possibility of reconciliation, and not out of some deep sympathy for Meri's plight. No, this was all for Robyn's benefit. I don't care if Meri begged her to lie. Robyn encouraged her to stay for her own gain, not Meri's. Robyn's little crying scene at the table, it's not because she felt for Meri. It's a pure reflection of her selfishness. She wasn't there to comfort Meri. She was there to feed her own need for attention and drama. While Kody was already probably dreaming about his buggy ride home to Robyn. And here's the kicker. It almost feels like Kody and Robyn enjoyed the pain they caused Meri and Christine. I get the sense that they couldn't stand being around them at certain points in the show. It's almost like Kody needed to prove his loyalty to Robyn by hurting his other wives. Does Robyn even want him to be intimate with his other wives? I honestly doubt it. She's way too possessive and insecure to handle plural marriage. And Kody? He's willing to go to unspeakable lengths to keep her happy, no matter the cost to anyone else. Ultimately, Kody uses everyone around him. Robyn, too, she's not immune to being manipulated, even though she has her own issues. But Kody, in his supreme selfishness, uses each wife for their emotional, financial, and physical resources. Let's not forget when Kody said he was deceived into marrying Meri. Please, he has recycled this tired, pathetic excuse with every wife. First, he wasn't in love with any of them. Then he was forced to marry Christine. then wasn't attracted to her. What's next? Is he going to say Janelle twisted his arm too? Or that he wasn't attracted to her either? At this point, nothing he says surprises me anymore. Okay, the wedding episodes are about to be something, especially with all the kids. Well, all except Robyn's, of course, rocking those themed colors and smiling like they've just won the lottery. They were practically glowing, gushing about how thrilled they were. And you know what that means, right? Kody's going to lose his mind. I'm talking full meltdown, but honestly, I'm here for it. Let's be real though, after he sees all this, he'll probably decide to never speak to those kids again. But honestly, I have a feeling they'd happily trade him in for David any day. And who can blame them? David genuinely seems like a decent human being. I was actually happy to see him featured in the tell-all. His social media pics are adorable, and his snarky comments are chef's kiss, but I really wanted to hear him weigh in on some of this drama. Christine and David though, I'm so glad they found each other. It's honestly heartwarming. By the way, did anyone ask in the final tell-all if Robyn thinks she'll be invited to the wedding? And how she'll handle it if the answer's a hard no? They asked Meri, and I gotta admit, her response was both insightful and kind of impressive. I'm dying to know what Robyn would say. I'm sure it'd be a great contrast. Post-Kody, Meri has really stepped up her game, handling everything with a surprising amount of grace. I'm seriously excited to watch all the kids having a blast at the wedding, seeing all those happy moments with Christine and Janelle. David just seems like such a great guy. I'm ready for some positive vibes in this drama-filled mess. Also, Annie, Christine's mom, getting all teary-eyed at the wedding. So sweet. And Aspen and Isabel there, supporting each other. Love it. It's been nice to see a little more of them this season, plus a bit of Logan, Hunter, Michelle, Maddie, and Caleb too. It's honestly going to show just how different this wedding is without Kody in the picture. And I'm super curious about how David's family feels about Christine sitting on David's lap. His mom and sister seem a lot more traditional and religious than he is. That's gonna be interesting. 6 kids, and somehow he's managed to say the time with Christine was wasted. Make it make sense. Seriously, imagine being his child and hearing him say that. What's that supposed to do to a kid's sense of self-worth? Any child who watches their dad toss aside their mom like an old pair of shoes is going to internalize that rejection. It's inevitable. Or worse, if they start thinking it's okay to treat their mother, or any woman, like that. Trust me, I've seen it happen. And let's not forget how special it must feel to wonder if your dad even pretended to love you. Because from what I gather, he barely saw Christine's kids in Flagstaff, only spending a few hours with them before he jet back to Robyn's house. Oh, and this was during Christine's days in Vegas, so basically his priorities were crystal clear. He set a stellar example of fatherhood, right? I bet those kids felt nothing but sadness and disappointment from all of that. How do you not take that personally as a kid? You have to wonder what kind of messed up message that sends. And seriously, how does someone end up with 6 kids with someone they supposedly don't even love, and then have the audacity to complain about their time together being wasted? The irony. And then, as if that wasn't enough, he gets all upset about Christine kicking him out of the bedroom. Kody, maybe it's time to stop with the cringy, performative nonsense and take a good hard look at the show you're actually in. Because, buddy, you're delusional. Robyn clearly wants to be absolved, but let's be real, she doesn't need the wives to say it out loud for her to feel free with Kody. What she really craves is to be off the hook for the role she played in the collapse of the family. It's not about feeling disrespected, it's about guilt. She knows deep down she's part of the reason the relationship with the kids went south, and ultimately, that's what drove a wedge between Janelle and Christine. Sure, Kody is the biggest culprit here, but Robyn played her part. She was there, contributing to the mess, and now she's swimming in guilt while desperately seeking forgiveness, even if no one ever says the words. It's not hard to see why. If she had a minor role in things falling apart, she might not be so weighed down. But nope, she took Kody, took their relationship, took their kids' happiness, took their money, took their peace of mind. She took it all, and now she's hoping the original wives will let her off the hook. Honestly, if they just tell her to take a hike, I wouldn't blame them. Let's not kid ourselves though. Kody's the primary problem here, but Robyn? She's a master manipulator, narcissistic through and through. She didn't come into this with some deep desire to share a man with 3 women. She saw a way to secure financial stability, grab a TV spotlight, and be Kody's favorite wife. If she genuinely cared about the family unit, things wouldn't have crumbled like this. She could have put the family first, but instead, she supported Kody in his decision to ditch most of them. If she had any decency, she'd be disgusted by the way Kody treats his kids and wives, but instead, she's too busy playing the victim. At the end of the day, she doesn't deserve any peace from the original wives. Her manipulative nature just doesn't allow for any real empathy or remorse. She genuinely believes she deserves closure, but that's just another control tactic hidden behind fake tears. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.